coordinators of the Justice for Grenfell campaign, and also as a council tax-paying resident. And we're here really to discuss the scrutiny of the council and your accountability to us as residents. The first place I went to look to see where I could get information was on your website. Your website states that the Royal Borough has a track record of being a well-run, high-performing authority and is committed to achieving continuous and measurable improvements in its service delivery. I didn't know whether to take it as a joke or not. I would suggest at this current time it is removed from your website. Okay, and if anybody here thinks that what that says is correct, they need to make themselves known. I'm going to make the assumption that it has been left on from years ago. If that is the case, then the person responsible for leaving that there needs to either resign or be subject to disciplinary procedures. It's made you look like an international laughing stock. I'm not here to discuss your change in policies or strategies, okay? What we always wanted from this council was a change in behaviour and your culture. And that statement shows that it's just a facade, what you're telling us that you're doing at the moment. We've had a series of complaints about how staff are delivering your high quality services. But that tells me something about your role as an employer. And so I'm going to discuss that. How an employer treats its staff is reflective of the service that is given. And we can see that in the Lawrence inquiry, where the Metropolitan Police, the same way that they treated BME victims and witnesses, they treated their very own BME officers in the same way. And I think it's something that you need to address. There's a high turnover of staff, especially at the lower grades. What exit interviews are being carried out or that you have asked for so that you can build a picture as to what is happening in your departments? There's a clear link between equality and diversity in the borough. There you are required to have a report every year as to what is the makeup of your staff, etc. I found that report on your website. However, the report makes no recommendations. There's no analysis about what's happening. So it doesn't tell us what you're doing going forward. The other thing that was noticeable was only about 50% of your staff are filling in their diversity monitoring questionnaires. So any data that you will pull from that or analyse, it's going to give you skewed data. We know that your HR policies haven't been refreshed this year, and I think it's time for them to be reviewed. I wanted to know if you could satisfy yourselves that there's adequate monitoring, evaluation and action from that taking place in any of your departments. If it's not happening in your HR department, then it's not likely to be happening in any of your other departments, and you need to be on top of that. The council should take into consideration what I've just said. I'm going to hand you on to Amanda, who will tell you the data and your analysis that we want to be given to the community for our own scrutiny so we can hold you accountable.
Thanks, Yvette. My name's Amanda. I am the founder of the Grenfell Tower Community Monitoring Project and also a taxpayer. Last September, Barry Quirk submitted a report fit for new purposes. It proposed a major restructure in the council. Restructuring alone does not change a culture, and if it's not implemented effectively, it is likely to make the council more dysfunctional. We suspect that poor implementation has contributed to the lack of continuity in service delivery and is the reason why 13 months after the disaster and 10 months after the report was written, we have not seen the positive change we expect. The Council need to improve its services at a much faster rate. You need to capture in detail how services have failed and the type of culture that supported this failure. The Council should provide the following: risk assessments and equality impact assessments for the recent restructure. To avoid this becoming just another tick box exercise, we also need evidence of the stage that the equality duty was considered, that you did in fact consider the equality duty in the first place, and how the Council undertook the equality impact assessment. We also need you to provide the number of exit interviews carried out with your staff in all your departments from the 14th of June 2017 and the 14th of July 2018, and any analysis completed. The number of staff leaving each department between the 14th of June 2017 and the 14th of July 2018. The reasons for leaving and the protected characteristics of these employees. A report detailing how the Council have used the information from exit interviews to improve the service of all departments in each of your directorates. Affected residents have witnessed staff being micromanaged and not empowered even to make even the smallest decision. Micromanagement is a sign that the management themselves do not trust their staff, but more importantly, it is a reflection of that manager's insecurities about his own ability to recruit and manage effectively. This has had a detrimental effect on the services we receive and is slowing down the process of recovery. How can we trust the Council when the management don't even trust themselves? It is also clear to us that policy changes are not effectively being communicated to staff. To what extent do staff receive adequate supervision and training to make sure that recent policies are successfully implemented and there is a high standard of customer care? The Council need to provide results of all customer satisfaction questionnaires for each department for the past 13 months. Since the fire, the number of contractors has increased. Contractors should be monitored in terms of their ability to deliver a high quality and tailored service and their ability to ensure that residents are not disadvantaged due to their protected characteristics. Outsourcing services does not mean that the Council have no responsibility. They still need to ensure that services are delivered in a fair and equal manner. The Council should provide evidence of service level agreements that are being monitored and that service failures are being addressed in all departments. That the Council are monitoring contractors' customer satisfaction data. Specifically, data will need to show that the ratings from residents will with protected characteristics. And if there is a difference in the level of satisfaction from these groups, we will be requesting that a detailed action plan of how the Council intends to resolve these issues. Addressing inequality in the workplace is a societal and moral issue. This must be a priority for RBKC if they are to change the culture of the organisation and benefit from the knowledge, skills and experience our community has to offer. It took a fire and many deaths before the Council decided to recruit our local community. Despite this, our research shows that a disturbing pattern is emerging. Most of the staff from North Kensington community are employed at the lowest level and have been employed on short-term or insecure contracts. I've been called out on time here, so I'm going to summarise a bit, but we also need to look at how staff have exercised their right in to use the whistleblowing policy. And the number of staff who were subject to formal action arising from performance meetings. In the interest of openness, fairness and transparency, we know you will understand that we, as you do, want a council that can justify the claim that they are indeed a high-performing local authority. Our community deserves the best, and we will make sure that this is what you deliver. We'll be sending out the full report electronically.
Thank you. Thank you. Councillor Campbell.
Thank you. I think the first thing I'd like to say is that you're quite right, our website we definitely have to do something about. And in fact, in our report of change to the council, that's one of the things that we need to look at. But you're right, on some things are on there which probably shouldn't be, so we'll look at that. Otherwise, from what you're saying, there's a whole list. I can't sort of enumerate them all right now. But what I would say is that, of course, I agree with you that high quality services depend on high quality staff, delivering them well trained and people who care and feel and who are absolutely determined to deliver the best for the community. Dr. Quirk has already started a whole programme of looking at the way the organisation works, how staff behave, how the culture needs to change, and I'm sure we can give you the answers to most of your questions. I don't know if Robert wants to add to that. Yes, sure.
It's not just about culture. What we're asking about is the equality and diversity of your workforce.
Sure.
That's what we're interested in.
Okay. I'm sure we can get you the answers to the equality and diversity of our workforce, and also some of the other things that you were asking about exit interviews. I don't have them here now, but I'm sure that we ought to be able to respond to you in detail on that. Sorry, I didn't hear the last thing.
The grade.
Not just about. Yeah.
So I think so. Just to remind people of the process is that we will be making sure people get a written response to the questions, and you had a lot of detailed facts in that. And so there will be a follow-up process from this to make sure that that detail is captured and can be followed through on. Thank you very much.